Good afternoon. Hello guys, good day. So this is Edwin again. So today guys, I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So basically I created this is .NET Core 3.1 API. So this I think if you watch my video I have already discussed this API that use generic repository and a unit of work. So I have now here my controllers for the API that I'm going to consume in my Angular application. So I am going to demonstrate or to show to you how we some things that we done in the Angular side part. So this is my Angular UI. So I'm using now my Angular as my front end and the back end is .NET Core 3.1. Uh, yeah, with API. So yeah, there are lots of things that I've been done. So I just I just want to show you some for example some features or modules that I think it will be helpful to you. Okay, for example, yeah, I have services here to get to the our API. For example, the division services. So basically, I'm just getting the list of division from our division table in the API. And we will load it as a drop down box in our front end in the Angular. So I gonna show it to you how we did it. So in our services we created here, of course, this is our API based URL, which is in our environment, and then this is observable type of type I division. This the I division is our interface division is our model. This one. So basically, we have just two property, the ID and the division itself, right? So that's our service. So it will just get you a list of division. So if you can see in our here in our .NET code, so we have division here. So only two properties, and then in our control division controller we already have this one. So unit of work division git also we can now have a list. So if we try to fire this one, so we have now the division list, and then we try out, we will execute that. It's loading. I think it's in breakpoint. Yeah, it's breakpoint. So you just have to go. So you can see that we have now a list of division. Division ID 1, division is C, division 2 is air, and division group. Okay. So we have now the endpoint, so we can go now our Angular. We have to get that. So this is the one. This is the service that we allow us to get that division data. And what where we are going to load that division data is in our request component HTML. So this is the request component. So basically just basic HTML of Bootstrap. So there are lots of things that need to redesign, but that's not my focus for now. The focus for now is the functionality that I can grab data from the web API and save it to the database coming from the Angular frontend. So the division here, guys, is just like this one. So this is on Select. So yeah, I have division data there as this one. So this is just looping, just for loop for the division. If you can see in my app components here, I have here the initialization of division and MTRE of type I division, and then that's what uh, Of course, on initialization, and first thing you have to inject your services here. So this is the division service. That is the division service that I shown you earlier. And then once it is injected, you can use it. So in the inject on it on initialization of this page, we load the division here. So that is why our division data variable here will have a data from the API. Okay, so our load here function is just here. So we have this load division. So this division service, that's the service, and this is the method name get division. And that, since that is observable, so we have to subscribe. If you are not going to subscribe it, then you cannot get the request return data. Then next, this is just a variable. This is db. We put the respond data to this variable db, and then this division data that we initialize at the top will have the division respond from our API point. So this is how we set. And this division selected ID, this is where in the drop down you select. So what selection you will have there will be the result here. And for the default, I just hard coded it for now. So when you run the front end, the default of the drop down will be C. Okay, but there is a way to give you the default that. All right, so and then once it's this loaded, so this is the HTML. So it just look. So let db of division data. So this division data coming from our web API, then it will look here and it will have a drop down. And the value, guys, you can either use the ID or the division description. But for me, I my design, because this is just a small table, I don't want to have the ID and refer to another division table, which is only one field. So I just put in this request table the division itself, the division description. That is why the value I put division. But you can use the ID if you want the ID and then just reference that to your division table. Right? So that is how we do it. And then, of course, this is Angular engine model is data binding. So what your it will uh, two-way binding. So yeah, for engine model, this is the division selected. So when we fast it, it will what we selected will be saved in this variable, which is here. And then before we add the request, we call the request, this one add request. This is the request service that will add. It will post data to our server. I modify this request data that division is equal to this division selected. So this is the selected division, and that will be saved in our database. All right, so I will try to run this as you can see. So where's my terminal now? The window is not here. What's happening here? Where's the window? It's hidden now. The window. Let me maximize. I cannot see now my terminal. So terminal, this will be, I think I can, I can have now my terminal here. It's being hide. So front end, we go to the client app folder. Client app folder. In the serve, we are going to 10.0. So we will take a look at generate now. Okay, so this is now our So basically on the load page, it will have the listing of the requests. Then when we add here, so this is what I'm talking about, the division. So it's default, I set it to save. And drop down, you can have that, okay? So this is coming from the data. So if I select example group, and then, for example, I will just type data and save. And date is not, I have to put a date picker here, but just later on. And for example, this one, actually not all are just functioning now. So when I click this one, and it's also need to finish this first. Then I click save here, so the division will be broke. So if you can see the model here, it's being passed. Here's the division. Division is broke. So it is coming from our drop down, what we selected. And when we go here, so it will, we use the, in the back end unit of work, so you just see, this is very nice code because we apply dry principle, dependency injection, part of solid principle. So you not scatter your code. So once you have changes, small thing, it will not easily break your code. Okay, so very abstracted. So unit of work request that add, you don't actually touching the database. So this is abstraction. You don't see what this add coming. You didn't have to interact with that your DB context, right? So when we continue that, so this is the list now. Okay, so the list is not this is just a test for now. Then when we click view, it's not functioning there. At least for now, I can save to my database from the web API, and then some drop down like the radio button. So this is, I am still new in the API. This is my first project in API. I mean the Angular. This is my first project in Angular. So there are lots of things to learn. So this is very exciting, guys. So yeah, I'm using Windows Authentication. This is the way how we can connect user from our Windows. So we display there, and then when we save later on, we can save the user also, which is the current login. So that is single sign-on approach as well. Okay, so this is a short demo, guys, on how we have an Angular as front end and the back end is ASP.NET Core API. All right, so there are lots of things to finish. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button, guys, for an upcoming video, a more exciting and more futuristic. I can, you will be notified when I share it to you. So if you have questions, clarification, and of course, helpful tips or uh, the, any comment that you want to add, you want to see something, for example, later we have to do the UI. You suggest that we will use Angular materials. It's will be coming soon. We will use Angular material. So yeah, I will take positive criticism, and I know it will help me a lot. So don't worry if you have nice comment or bad comments. It's no harm to me. So yeah, I will take it positively. So yeah, so thank you guys for subscribing and for following this uh, YouTube. Actually, this is just for my own consumption. But if you like, if you think that this can also help you, if silly, if you're just starting Angular, just like me, I'm just starting Angular. So way back almost 5 years, and been using JavaScript, jQuery mobile, jQuery data tables, jQuery as my front end. But I realized that Angular now is very in demand, so why not? Why not I learn Angular? It's not too late to learn Angular. Yeah, right. So it's not too late, guys. Everything is still fine. So just basically hard work and So there are a lot of resources. You just have to do it. Because if you're just going to view this YouTube, learn the theoretically, and you don't get your hands dirty, you didn't go code, then you will never learn at all. Promise, I will 100% you will not learn that. If you are just theoretically studying and you are not trying to figure it out to do it by yourself, then most likely you don't know how to do it. Okay, guys. So hopefully you learn something from here, and then okay. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. So there are lots of services now here. So yeah, there are lots of things that we need to discuss. There are lots of things that we need to learn. So from Angular. Okay, guys. So bye bye. Happy learning.